Hey guys, welcome back to the channel Let's Make a Mill, as well as my own personal blog, letsmakeamill.com. I have a very exciting video, primarily because I'm going to be talking about something that I am doing. It's been going on for probably about the last week and a half or so, and even longer than that. If you guys have been following my last video, I actually sold out of my Roth IRA, and I didn't know what to do with that cash value, that cash position of $39,000. If you've been reading my blog, I've actually been kind of hinting at towards pursuing real estate and kind of leaning towards just buying a real estate asset. And then only recently, within the last week, did I come across a triplex. All right, something that's very interesting, something I haven't done. But for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Eugen Vasquez, and I am the host of this channel. And I'm basically documenting my journey towards making $1 million. And I do that in real estate, the stock market, as well as any other type of investment that, kind of fits my strategy. I'm a buy and hold long-term passive investor. So without further ado, let's talk about this triplex. After exiting my Roth IRA, I had a cash value of $39,000, and I didn't know what to do with it. I made a video on kind of what I was thinking. I could have done a combination of things. I could have, put it into my M1 Finance portfolio. I could have invested into FundRise. I could have, spread it around and invested into Fizzy Rocks, and then, which is a total U.S. stock market index offered through Fidelity. I could have also, bought a single family home or purchase physical real estate, or I could have just held on to the cash and wait for a prime opportunity to strike, whether that was going to be in the stock market or maybe a housing crash or maybe a combination of everything else, right? So I had to think about what I was going to do. And then last week, a deal, I reached out to Home Union, and I was kind of, thinking about getting into a Quadplex, because I saw a Quadplex, the numbers made some sense, and I was like, you know what, maybe I could pursue this, right? So I asked him for more information on this Quadplex, and he came back to me, and at that moment I was talking to a possible partner. I was possibly going to partner up with somebody to purchase this Quadplex. But then after talking to the Home Union rep, the numbers just didn't make sense. I wasn't really feeling that good with that asset. I had reached out to a friend who actually invests in Georgia, and he told me that area is not the best area. He's like, maybe it'll turn around. Maybe there's little pockets within that area that'll do really well. But he's like, I personally stay away from that area. I was like, okay. So, I decided not to go with that because you just can't, boots on ground information is some of the best information. So decided to pass on that deal. I looked at some possible new construction deals, passed on those deals. Actually, those deals were actually sold out before I can even send a response. And then a triplex came across my email, and I was very excited about this because I remember this building in 2018 when I first started investing in real estate, and I wanted this triplex, but I didn't have the cash down payment. And instead, I ended up I believe I purchased Chestnut first, and then I saw this triplex. And I didn't have the cash available, so obviously I had to pass on it. But it was a really sweet deal, and I remember it vividly because it was something that was in the back of my mind that I wanted to really buy. So now it came available again recently. So they sent me the triplex details, and I'm going to quickly show just kind of a clip of what that looks like on this video. So I'm not going to actually reveal the location of the asset because this is an ongoing deal, but I wanted to show everybody kind of the assumptions and what it looks like. So, it has a 7% cap rate, cash flow. I just ignore this right now. The cash on cash return would look about 13, maybe 14% really. Total return over 10-year period would be about 16.6%. This is with a few assumptions. The assumptions is, if I was to purchase it at $330,000, and it's able to produce a rent of about $3,400, maybe $3,500, with my down payment of 25%. Over the span of 30 years with a 3.25% interest rate. Of course, I don't know what the interest rate is going to be just yet. I'd have to work through the mortgage company. But typically, it's in the 3.5% range with the given interest rates now. It may even be lower depending on a few factors, but we'll find out. So if everything works out and all the numbers work out the way I hope they work out, this is what the kind of cash flow would look like. You know, all this all together, the loan payment, the property tax, the property insurance, you know, whatever other fees. It's not really HOA fees, but whatever other fees, plus the property management fee. I'd pay about, I think it's a little under like 2,000, maybe 1,900 bucks. And if the property's fully tenanted and everyone's paying their rent on time and we have no issues, I'd be able to cash flow almost $1,300, if not a little over $1,400. Here's a couple other assumptions here. And then this is what it's looking like, total cash out of pocket. What they don't mention here, you can ignore the rehab costs for now, but what they don't mention here is the fee. They used to mention the fee, the broker fee, the fee that goes to Home Union for you know, getting this deal through, but it's typically 3.5% of the value of the asset, right? So if, you know, a building's $100,000, you purchase it, you will have to pay Home Union you know, agent or broker fee of $3,500 or just about. But anyways, this is what the total cash out of pocket would look like. And then here's a couple other details about the loan or the possible loan. And then, you know, how many years I would save if I was to use that cash flow to just buy the property off. This is with a 25% down payment. And, you know, they even include a little amortization table. But, you know, this is what the asset looks like, and this is kind of what I'm dealing with right now. So hopefully if everything works out, I'll be closing on this deal here in the next week or so. So after looking at all the numbers and kind of deciding, do I need to partner up? You know, can I go at this alone? You know, I was looking at the risk factors too, because I don't want to bring on a partner, you know, and then lose money on this deal, you know, or have to face some hardship. So I decided to go in this deal alone. And I was really, even it kind of upped the ante for me because, one, I'm going to need a huge down payment on this asset. So the asset is actually $350,000. I'd need a 25% down payment to even be at the table to talk. So I'd need about between, I think like $85,000, $95,000 in cash, right? To just even be at the table to talk. So after thinking through a couple things, you know, I have the $39,000 available. And I was like, where can I get my hands on some extra cash? And then I started thinking, well, hey, Fizzy Rocks, you're looking kind of good right now. You know, what's up with those dollars? What's up with those shares? So, like, I don't know if this has been a good move, a bad move. I have no idea. But I'm going to go ahead and play a clip. I actually sold out of my Fizzy Rocks last week in order to raise cash. I'm going to go ahead and play that clip right now. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I am actually about to sell out of my Fizzy Rocks position. If you've been reading my blog, I've been kind of debating about buying a Triplex. And it looks like the seller has agreed to a price. I am blown beyond imagination right now because I have never invested this amount of money into a single asset all at once. So the Triplex is going to be, and I'll do a more official video on this, but the Triplex is going to be about $330,000 with a 25% down payment. I'll do a more, you know, in-depth video, but I just wanted to get this on the record that I am going to sell out of my Fizzy Rocks to pull cash out of my index so that I have money to use for the down payment on this new Triplex. So for sake of transparency, we're going to go ahead and log in here. We're going to go to Fizzy Rocks. I'm going to go ahead and sell. And we're going to do a dollar amount because that seems easiest to me. And we'll do $60,000. That looks like $60,000 to me. I'm going to double check. Sorry. 60, 1, 2, 3. Boom. 6,000, 60,000. All right, there we go. Sorry, I don't have my glasses. Anyways, gonna go ahead and get this done. Sell orders in. As you can see, I actually have 39,000 already in the count. And for my Fizzy Rocks, that's gonna bring in another 60,000 out of the index. So I'll have about $15,000, I'm sorry, a $5,000 cash value with whatever capital gains. And of course, I'm gonna have to rebuild this up over time. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this done. Man, this is exciting because I've never done something like this. So, here it goes. Boom, there we are. It's gonna sell here. Time right now is 10:40 at night, and that's about almost 3:40 back in the United States. So the market's about to close here soon. I just got the email to that we're gonna move forward. So I wanted to hurry up and get this sale so I can transfer the funds the following morning, so I could begin my mortgage process. So, anyways, with all that said, hope you guys like this. I'm gonna be doing a better video on this at a later time, but I just wanted to get this on the record. So see you guys later. So as you guys saw, I sold out $60,000 worth of the index, and then I took that cash, transferred it to a bank account, took the remainder of the Roth IRA money, the $39,000, transferred that to my house capital account. I now have a large cash position to invest in this asset. So I moved all the money. I told me and the broker were negotiating with the seller, and we came to a price. I don't want to say it on this video just yet because we're still kind of like in that phase. But as time goes on, I will do more videos and kind of be going more into the specifics. But at a high level, the asset's $350,000. It rents for $3,400, maybe $3,450, I believe. I'm trying to negotiate it. Actually, it'll probably go my way, but I'm trying to negotiate that price much lower, maybe by $20,000 or so. Hint, hint. So if that works out, the mortgage with all expenses probably be about maybe $1,900, maybe $1,800 with all expenses. So I'd be able to cash flow on a good month. I'd be able to cash flow on a good month $1,400, maybe $1,450 or so, maybe $1,300. But either way, I'd be able to cash flow some good cash, right? And I could use that money to deploy it either in the stock market or deploy it to another rental property to start paying that off, because that's going to be my new strategy going forward, is to pay off these houses. But anyways, all that aside, I wanted to talk about kind of the mindset and all the feelings and all the crap that was going on this week. So I came into this deal, very excited, looking at the positives. I'm like, man, this is going to be a long-term play. I could see the cash flow. I could taste the cash flow. This is going to be great, right? But you can't just rely on cash flow, right? I mean, I've never purchased a property this large, and I've never put $90,000 into an investment, right? So obviously I'm going through my feelings, and I'm kind of scared, kind of fearful, right? So I decided to do my due diligence, went through the rent rolls, went through kind of the history of it. Looking at the local area, it's in a C-class neighborhood. There is some crime. There is some bad areas in this particular area, right? And looking at kind of a bigger picture, the city is looking at revitalizing this area, so maybe possible gentrification. There has been some large real estate asset purchases, like commercial multifamily properties purchased in the area. They're talking about land development, land redevelopment. So the external factors, the little, the macro picture looks good. On a bigger picture, the Federal Reserve is still keeping interest rates at a very low, near 0%. So in terms of mortgage, I'd be able to save some money there. And this is again going to be for a 30-year loan, right? A 30-year long-term investment if I go through with this from start to finish. So just looking at that bigger picture, I had to kind of think, okay, does this make sense for me? Does it not make sense for me, right? And then I started to dive deeper, and I started to get cold feet. And this is where it kind of screwed me up, because I'm trying to convince myself to buy this thing. I initially had this mindset, yes, I'm going to buy this. I can't wait. I don't care about the area. I know it's going to go up. It was sold in 2018 for $280,000. It is now worth in 2020 $350,000. I mean, come on, right? The previous owner, or the current owner, I should say, took really good care of the building, rehabbed all the units, put in a lot of love, put a lot of elbow grease into the building. So I know it's a good building. But, still I'm thinking, well, this pandemic, the macro, we still got an eviction moratorium. Tenants who may not have a job or losing their jobs or possibly will stop paying rent. I have, these are real risks, so I started to almost, instill fear in myself. I started to really scare myself into staying away from real estate for now. And then I talked to a couple other people, and one person's very tinfoil hatty, and he's like, don't invest in multifamilies, stay away from them, stay only single families, right? Then I talked to another investor, and they're like, man, that area is crazy. Like, I don't know, like, tell me what your thinking is. So I kind of explained all my thinking, right? After telling him everything, all the research I did, how the numbers work, and kind of the cost savings I'm gonna hopefully have, he basically said, it sounds like you're just looking for permission to buy this property. It sounds like you already made up your mind. You're just looking for someone to push you. And I honestly believe that was the nail on the head. So talking with the broker again at Home Union, I said, let's move forward, let's do it. And now we're pretty much past negotiation, but I don't want to talk about that in this video just yet. I will talk about it in the future, once everything's under contract and everything else. So now I am going to be moving forward with this property, right? But it's just, I had to get over that hurdle. I had to get over that fear of the unknown. And that's really, that could be a whole video on itself, because I'm telling you, I was in a pretty fear-induced state. What if this goes wrong? What if this doesn't work out? What if that doesn't work out? What if this? And I always came back to, if I don't do it, if I don't do this investment, if I do not purchase this, I'm never going to purchase a multifamily. I'm never going to move up the stack. I'm never going to pursue these bigger deals. So if I don't do it now, then I'm never going to do it. And that was kind of his point, or my friend's point as well. He's like, if you don't do this now, you're never going to do it. And, I still have a decent cushion in case this goes south a little bit, and I started thinking in the long term, the 1 to 5 years, the 5 to 10 years. And I firmly believe that this asset will appreciate, it will bring in good cash flow. And once this, short-term pandemic stuff is all over and said and done with, things will go back to normal, or a new normal. People will go back to work, the economy will come back to the way it was. And, because humans, we adapt, we just adapt to everything. So we'll find a way to make it all work. And I know that this particular triplex or triplex, whatever you want to call it, will perform in the long run. So like I said earlier, I decided to finally move on it. And I'm it's pretty crazy. That's all I could say. I've never held this much in cash. So right now in my house capital, I have almost $95,000 in strict cash, liquid cash. I've never had that amount in my bank account at any given time. So it was pretty painful actually getting out of Fizzy Rocks. Not painful, but it's just that I was not expecting to do that. I was expecting to hold Fizzy Rocks or keep investing in the index to 100,000, but a deal like this, I just didn't want to pass it up. So I'm going to rebuild the index. Over time, I'm going to continuously invest in it. There's been a strategy out there that some investors are taking, and it's going to be a strategy that I take. You treat the index almost as if it's a savings account. Yeah, sometimes the index will drop and sometimes it'll rise, or most likely it'll rise, but you treat it as a savings account. And basically you just put your money in there. It's better than what a traditional savings account is, with the feds keeping the interest rate almost near zero. Your money's not going to really grow at all in a savings account. And then holding liquid cash, with inflation coming and inflation the way it is, a dollar today may be 95 cents next year. So with all that, information, I'm basically adjusting my strategy, or adjusting my portfolio to just this index, this Fizzy Rocks. I'm just going to treat it as a savings account, put all my savings money in there. I'll hold just a very small amount of cash in liquid in case, emergencies or unexpected expenses come up. And then, I'll be able to pull from that, or pull from the index, right? But I'm going on a tangent. It's just been one hell of a week. And I just wanted to give everybody an update on kind of what I decided to do with that 39,000, now it's 90,000. So, this is exciting times. This is just it's crazy, man. I don't know how to explain it. It's just when you get to this level, and I'm not trying to boast here, but when I got to this level, it's just you're playing on a much bigger field. You're playing you're playing at a much higher level. I remember back in the day when I was just buying, stocks, and I was like, man, $1,000, like, this is crazy. This is crazy. I can't believe I never imagined you using $1,000 to buy investments. And then I upped the game, and now I'm invested, like, oh well, here's $2,000, here's $1,000 there, boom, like whatever. I'm just gonna keep building these positions, right? And then my first house purchase, I remember the almost the same exact fear, the same exact feelings I was going through, similar to now, dealing with this triplex. Like, I was worried about the future. I'm thinking of all scenarios and the way they may play out and all the risks involved and everything else. And finally I just said, if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. So I pulled the trigger, bought my first property, Chestnut. And now we fast forwarding, when I was looking at single family homes, I was like, whatever, I put 39,000, boom, there you go. That's what I'd use my Roth IRA money for, but then let's triple that. Let's or double that. Let's make that 90,000. Are you comfortable, putting $90,000 into an asset? Are you comfortable with, the risk involved? And all those feelings and everything came right back. So again, this is more, I don't know what this video is. It's an update. It's what I'm doing. I'm trying to remain transparent. But anyways, I'm ranting on. If you like this video, let me know down in the comments. Give me a like, a dislike, hit the subscribe button, the notification bell. I'm going to be updating everybody with everything I'm doing as far as this triplex. If I decide to get out of the deal last minute, you guys will be the first to know. And then, along with exiting Fizzy Rocks, of course I had to pay I will be paying capital gains tax. So just remember, do your own due diligence, do your own research on this kind of stuff. Don't just take everything I'm doing for, as the truth. But with that, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys find some value. I hope this motivates you guys to push forward. The old famous saying by Nike, just do it. All right. And with that, guys, see you in the next video.